Hey there, my name is Patrick Black, special education teacher from Mount Prospect, Illinois. Check out my blog, Teaching All Students, over at teachingall.blogspot.com. Oh, and you're listening to A.T.TIPSCAST.
Welcome to the A.T.TIPSCAST, exploring and investigating the implementation of assistive technology in public schools. I'm your host, Chris Bouguet. This is episode number 32, recorded on April 20th, 2009. Patrick Black, the special educator who you heard in the bumper for this episode, asked me to write a special guest post over at his blog, Teaching All Students. Patrick stated that although the blog is meant to provide resources for all students, as the name implies, he works closely with students with severe disabilities. What follows is an audio version of the blog post over at teachingall.blogspot.com. There are a few AT.TIPs embedded within the post, so I'll have all those listed with corresponding AT.TIP numbers over at A.T.TIPSCAST.wordpress.com. Giving the Gift That Keeps on Giving by Chris Bouguet. Christmases, birthdays, and other occasions that lend themselves to giving gifts can be a challenging time for the relatives of people with a severe disability. What do you get for your niece, nephew, cousin, or other relation that has a severe disability that is meaningful, useful, and fun? My wife and I found ourselves asking this very question at least 2 times a year for our nephew Jason. Jason was diagnosed with infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy at 8 months of age. This incredibly rare disorder, estimated at 1 for every 200,000 births, impacted Jason in a variety of ways. From a sensory standpoint, Jason had a complete loss of vision. Motorically, Jason remained stationary with the majority of his muscle movements coming from his face in the form of grins and smiles. A typical day for Jason found him in his wheelchair hanging around the house or accompanying his family, mom, dad, and big sister, oh, and let's not forget about the 2 cats and 2 dogs, doing what families do. My wife, the social coordinator of the house, makes lists of what to get our relatives for Christmas and birthdays. Joe is into Star Wars, so he gets the Hoth Lego set. Braden is into Rescue Heroes, so he gets the Billy Blazes action figure. Colleen is into hockey, so she gets the Buffalo Sabres jersey. Jason, however, presented an interesting challenge because it was impossible to tell what Jason was into. In order to give a gift that was both meaningful and useful, my wife and I examined Jason's abilities. Jason's hearing was in question, but, until ruled out, we decided that items that made sounds were a good choice. Likewise, Jason's sense of touch was intact. Therefore, differently textured items or items with movement, like vibration, were also a good choice. Armed with this knowledge, we hunted for items that met these parameters. Once we made our list of potential goodies, we did what all good aunts and uncles do. We cross-referenced our list with Jason's parents, who provided further guidance. By looking at what Jason was capable of doing, as opposed to what he couldn't do, and really investigating what would be best suited to fit Jason's needs, my wife and I gave ourselves the gift of becoming even closer to our nephew. From that experience, and from experiences with working with many other students with severe disabilities, here are a handful of gift ideas that might work universally. 1. Batteries, battery charger, battery tester. Okay. That might seem like a very lame gift idea, but trust me when I tell you that almost every family that has a child with a severe disability has a litany of devices, toys, and materials that require all sorts of different sizes of batteries. Become known as the relative who gives batteries because the family needs them and batteries are expensive. The family probably has a box or drawer, or a box in a drawer, of various batteries of different shapes and sizes. When they need a battery, they run to this little hidey hole, dig through the pile, and, if luck is with them, find what they need. A battery tester will help them know which batteries in that maelstrom are still good and which can be retired. Similarly, rechargeable batteries and battery chargers are like gold that doesn't have to be mined. Number 2. Interactive multimedia presentations. PowerPoint is probably the most common, but any program that allows you to integrate images, sounds, and movement will work, including free ones like Google Docs and Cast's Book Builder. Using these programs, an interactive slideshow can be created on any number of topics. Maybe the student enjoys watching football with mom and dad on Sunday, or enjoys going to the local high school football games. Photos of the favorite team, or better yet, if the student's a high school male, the cheerleaders of that team, can be placed into a slideshow with accompanying sounds and transitions. A word of caution, photos of the New England Patriots will crash your computer, so don't even try it with that team. Pictures of the Buffalo Bills work best. Presentations with pictures of family outings, favorite movies, and favorite people also make excellent gifts. In order to make it interactive, create the presentation in such a way that a single click will make the next action happen. Students have varying ways to interact with the computer, so here again, an analysis of how the student uses the computer will help determine how best to create the show. A good rule of thumb here is that it's always better to keep it simple and actually create the presentation than try to make a complicated one that never makes it to the student. 3. Playlists. Just like you did back in middle school for your puppy love crush, create a mixtape as a gift. Burn 15 songs onto a CD or create a playlist. CDs can be thematic, centering on a new style of music that the student may not have been exposed to before. Has niece or nephew experienced jazz, cyberpunk, or classic Van Halen? Maybe it's time they took a trip to... It might just make them jump. Centering the CD or playlist on a particular mood is another way of organizing the music. Emphasizing a particular mood like peaceful songs to sleep to, or songs to get your body moving, can help transport the student's mind to a place where it needs to be. You might feel funny making a CD of your favorites, but sharing a little bit of yourself worked way back then in high school, or it didn't, and if that's the age of the student, then it will mean something to him too. 4. Time. There's no gift as good as time. Time spent together is like spinning a roulette wheel that only has black. Everyone is sure to win. Any amount of time spent, from something as short as taking a walk, watching a movie, or going shopping, to something as long as weekend, or even week-long, trips away from home, camping, or to an amusement park will form bonds and memories that will last a lifetime. If you find that you're truly stuck and you can't find anything to get your relative, invite the parents to keep a list online of gift ideas and specifics. Tadalist.com is a website where you can keep and share lists of items. Parents could maintain the list with specific items and specifics about items, clothing sizes for instance, and share the list with gift-giving friends and family. Working like a registry, friends and family can then make informed decisions about what's needed, what's wanted, and what they'd like to give. Finding the right gift for a relative isn't an easy task. It's difficult to sort through the abundance of coolness in the world to select the perfect gift. Using the abilities of your relative as a guide, you can zone in on gifts to give that are personal, relevant, and most of all, fun. I'd like to thank Patrick again for the opportunity to post on his blog. Please head over to teachingall.blogspot.com and leave a comment about this blog post. While you're there, I hope you subscribe. I know that you'll find the resources and ideas that Patrick has to share informative and fun. Just a quick reminder that I'll be presenting on the topic of alternative professional development for the Maryland Assistive Technology Network, or MATN, on May 7, 2009. I've got a link to that conference for more information over at A.T.TIPSCAST.wordpress.com. Second, Sally Norton-Dar and I will be doing a poster session called Chew the Fat, Policies and How-Tos in Assistive Technology at the National Educational Computing Conference, or NEC, for 2009, which takes place in Washington, D.C. on June 28th. I hope to meet you at one or both of these events. Also, the American Speech Language Hearing Association is sponsoring a video contest to promote Better Hearing and Speech Month, which is coming up in May. I put together a 3-minute video called 2-Minute Mouths that is a kind of a spin on the 8-minute abs workout video, and I entered it into the contest. I'll have a link to that video up over at A.T.TIPSCAST.wordpress.com. I hope you check it out because it was kind of a lot of fun to make, and I think you might find it useful. Finally, a bunch of colleagues are participating in the local Tour de Cure sponsored by the American Diabetes Foundation to help raise money for research to find a cure for diabetes. So, if you can, please dump out the old coin jar and see if you can scrounge up some cash to donate. Every penny counts, so anything you can give would be immensely appreciated. I'll have a link with instructions on how to make a donation over at A.T.TIPSCAST.wordpress.com. Until next time, may all your interventions be inclusive, and may all your strategies be supportive.